Ignore the mess behind me. As always, today is Friday. I have this new schedule, so I list all of the things that I'm going to be doing today on here, and then I try to get it done here starting at 6. It is currently 7:45 because I slept in today, and then I was on TikTok. I put my hair up into, because it's long enough to go into a twist, right? Like a French twist where you twist it and then tuck it under and then use the bobby pin to like scoop it in. I went out to get myself some tea featuring the Subtle Dan and Phil mug because I'm a nerd. My mom came out and she was like, "You buzzed all your hair off. It's all gone." And I was like, "No, I put it up." She goes, "You can't put up your hair. It's too short." I go, "Not anymore." I buzzed the sides of it, which she was already upset about. And then I put it in a twist. I don't know what it looks like from the back because I did it from the front. But she thought I buzzed all of my hair off. Not going to lie though, I like this look. If I wasn't aware that this would turn into a bunch of little curly cues on the top of my head, I might consider it because I do like the way it looks. However, I know that that is not how my hair works, so I've just decided to put it up and wow. But anyway, because I am late and I am terrible at getting myself motivated. I am terrible at getting myself motivated. That doesn't make me terrible. I'm working on my self-talk. Because I'm bad at getting myself motivated in the mornings, I am now an hour late. And yesterday I only did like 8.5 hours of work, but the day before I did about 11 hours of work. So I'm really hoping I don't have to do 11 hours of work again today. I'm not sure if I should do the 40-20, 40 on, 20 off that I've been doing, where I work for 40 minutes straight and then I take a 20-minute break to do my other list or watch YouTube or whatever, or if I should turn on the timer on the Forest app, which can go up to 2 hours and then you have to take a break and it grows a tree as you do it, but you don't have to stay there for a specific amount of time, so I can stop that. Or if I should keep doing, I don't know if it's the Pomodoro or Podomoro thing with the 20-40, 40-20, I guess. I think I will try because I'm already late. I've already lost an hour. So if I'm going to do 11 hours, I'm going to be going into 8 o'clock at night. And I don't particularly want to do that. I think I'm going to try the Forest app today and see how it goes. Previously, with the 20-40, it's been working, but I've started earlier. So like on Wednesday, I started at 6:30. And then the colors are the times that I was working, and then the white are the times that I wasn't. And then yesterday I started at 6 and I ended fairly early. So that was really nice. So this is my color scheme for this week. But because I have so much more to do today, I might do the 2-hour thing and then take a 20, and then do the 2-hour thing and then take a 20. It might lead to getting all of the other stuff done faster and the other list done slower near the end, but that's fine because what really needs to get done is my 4 main classes for school and then my Korean for me because I need something in my life that is not school. And I've decided that learning Korean is that thing. I have a hearty breakfast of a homemade sandwich. It's got vegan cheese and a sausage patty and an English muffin, some tea from last night that I forgot to eat and drink before conking out, some root beer, and some toast yay Girl Scout cookies, 2 to be exact. I'm set until lunch. I need to find my glasses as well because I don't know where they are. I found them. Fairly simple. Just had to fucking look. It is Friday, which means there's still like news podcast. I don't have to listen to the news podcasts, but I like to know what's going on in the world. So there are news podcasts to listen to, but we are going to start with the Forest app and the timer and see how that goes. I was also thinking of potentially, I'm on Studygram, and I was thinking of potentially doing a study with me time lapse where I put the alien tripod up on my windowsill and putting camera up above and time lapsing that whole thing without talking, and I'd probably put some lo-fi study music over it. I don't know what that voice was. So anyway, I'm gonna get going. Today I am doing day 23 of my first 500 Korean words. This is backwards because that's how cameras work. I'm doing the permit lesson in the Lingo Deer app, which I try to do at least one of those lessons a week so I can really focus on the vocabulary. Otherwise, I use the Talk to Me lessons. I'm on level 3 right now. I think I'm on lesson 16 of level 3. I also have the workbooks. They're over there next to my Harry Potter that I stole. And then Rosetta Stone, because when they were doing that sale at the beginning of the pandemic for a lifetime, it was like $60 for a lifetime of Rosetta Stone. I jumped on that bus and now I'm learning Spanish, Korean, and Latin on Rosetta Stone. So that's my my Korean for the day. Then I have World Literature. I'm using the Norton Anthology World Literature Volume 2, the shorter edition, and I'm working on At the Crossroads of Empire. That's the chapter. So I'm reading that chapter today, which I think is about 400, maybe 300 pages. That has to get done today. Then I have European Literature A, which is from medieval to, I think, the late 17th century, early 18th century. So I have Chaucer and religion. I have a response that I have to do because when I first posted that discussion, nobody else had posted, and then I completely forgot about it, as one does. Then I have my first essay. I have a peer review, which is more help for everybody else than it is help for me, because whenever I submit an essay for peer review, no one ever actually says anything to me, so thank you for that. And I'm reading the Defense of Poesy, the Book of the Courtier, Hero and Leander, and the Epithalamion. This, the Norton Anthology of English Literature, 10th edition, the 16th century and the early 17th century. It's the orange one, and he's fat. And that is, it looks like 200 pages. And then I have European Literature B, which is the late 17th century to early 18th century, all the way up to the 21st century. And right now we just finished the Romantic period. I don't quite know what comes after that. It's on my bookshelf. I haven't grabbed it yet because right now, I finished the reading yesterday. So today I'm doing all of what he calls the handouts, which are essentially lectures, additional information, and PowerPoints, and just like, it's just extra stuff. And so I have that. Then a Gothic discussion, because we were looking at Mary Shelley and De Quincey, and they are sort of Gothic writers. So I'm working on that discussion, and then discussion responses. I wrote it down this time so I won't forget. And then I have another essay for this class, which needs to be peer reviewed, so I have to do that today. Then we move on to my LGBTQIA literature class. She added the I in there. I'm not sure if all intersex people consider themselves part of the LGBTQ community, but I'm not a gatekeeper, so if they want to be, they can be, and if they don't, that's fine with me too. I just call it queer because it's easier to write down, and because I have reclaimed that term for myself, and it is my notes, so that's on me. And we are reading Stone Butch Blues, which, if you have the chance, I think it's Leslie Feinberg? Anyway, excellent book. Trigger warning, it does mention violence against minorities, Jewish people, African Americans, and queer LGBTQ people. There's a lot of violence. There's a lot of police violence. There's a lot of just people in power overstepping boundaries. So there's a trigger warning on that one, but I'm reading that. I'm reading chapters 9, 10, and 11 today, so I get ahead for next week, because what I'm trying to do is take 3 weeks worth of courses and smush it down into 10 days, because I am going on vacation. Maybe not something that I should be proud of during the pandemic, but we are going to Joshua Tree, and I am determined to go hiking, if not by myself, then at least with my family group, going hiking, wearing masks. I'm not there. They want to do other things, and that's on them. I've told them that I don't feel comfortable with that I don't feel comfortable with them doing that, but then they are adults, so they get to make that own decision regardless of how it affects other people. They just think about themselves, but that's another matter. I'm going hiking, and then when I'm not hiking, I'm staying in my room, and I'm not getting room service or any of the cleaning doodads to minimize my effect on people. And so I'm trying to have a good time there, so I'm trying to get all the stuff done beforehand. On my other list, I have reading. I'm currently reading The Voyage of the Dawn Treader because I was renting out Lord of the Flies, and it's on hold and I don't have it yet. Although I think I have it this morning. I think I got a notification about that. I'm trying to journal every day. Update my finance tracker because I don't have a job anymore. I'm trying to keep close tabs on what I'm spending, and I want my spending to be down to 0, but I know that is not possible. I'm posting After the Pen on my Studygram for my passion planner. I have Latin and Spanish. I plan on cleaning some of this, maybe that, today, and then move around a little bit. And then I have my food tracker, which today I have some tea, a breakfast sandwich, some Girl Scout cookies, and some root beer for my breakfast. So I'm gonna get going on that. I'm now at 7:58, so we're even later than I thought. I'll just start at 8 and work my way from there. And I'll see you at the end of the day, maybe if I remember to go over what I did and did not do, how long it took and all of that. I'm thinking if I talk to somebody, I'll be held accountable more by myself. Also, I really like my hair like this. But I also like my curls, and it would take way too long to grow this out, so I'm just gonna keep this here. I cut my hair myself. That's why it looks like a mess. It is... Why are my lips that color? Okay, I don't like that. It is 7:30. All I've done today is this one class because of peer editing essays or peer reviewing essays. I forgot about the difference between an English language class essay versus an English literature class essay. Now, if you're not familiar with the United States language versus literature, the English language classes generally focus more on literary devices, how to develop an argument, how to create an essay that is easy to read and gets the point across well, while the literature classes focus mostly on reading and literature analysis. So the language classes generally have stronger essays that are just a little bit more boring, and the literature analysis classes or the literature classes end up having poorly written essays that are really fun to read because they are based off of specific works. At least that's what I found. But today I had a lot of reading and I had those essays, so I think I spent something like 6.5 hours on just Euro A. And so now I have Euro B and queer literature to get to, and it is 7:30. As soon as it hits midnight, if I'm not done yet, I'm going to bed. The other people in my group for the Euro B essay are late in their submission, so I only have one essay to read for that, which is nice. Also, I looked at it because I got ready while I was having dinner, and it's double-spaced, it's Times New Roman, font size 12, it's got the proper heading, it's got the proper, the number up on top, the citations are nice. He has a works cited, they have a works cited page. I'm so excited to read this essay, so excited. So that is what I will be doing now. I'm going to do the essays first, and then have the 2 handouts, and then the discussion and discussion responses. So I'm gonna get those done, and then I'm already ahead on queer literature. I was only supposed to get up to chapter 5 this week, and I'm now at chapter 9. So I don't mind if I have to push that to tomorrow. The thing with tomorrow is I'm going on we were gonna play tennis, but then childcare fell through, so now we're gonna go on a picnic, because that's something little kiddos can do. So that is what I'm doing tomorrow, which means I do not have a lot of time. But because I am officially, after this, done with Euro B, Queer, and World for this week, all I really have to do in the morning is more of Euro A. Yay! And then on Sunday, I can get the rest done before Monday starts, and then work on it from there. Hopefully, fingers crossed, after the essay is done and out of the way, it'll be okay. Also, in Euro A, we're up to Sir Philip Sidney, Christopher Marlowe. So these are William Shakespeare. This is in English now, so I don't have to worry so much about the Latin or the French or the Old English, which is nice. It also means that there are less, translations. So it's easier to find an audio version of the readings, which is nice if you, like me, have a hard time when reading, let's say, Marlowe. I read Hero and Leander today. It is difficult to follow for me sometimes. That month is huge. I listened to it after I had read it, and I understood it a whole lot better, and I don't know if it's because I had essentially read it twice, or if the reading it, getting my understanding of it, and then listening to it added to that understanding. That moth is really distracting. If I put this down, you won't be able to see me. So anyway, moving on to Euro B. I'm not done yet, but I shall see you on the other side. Also, my hair stayed up all day. Nice. I also need to clean. That's gross. I'm gonna get to work because this is not gonna do itself. I have a tripod for my car now, mostly so I can see navigation, partly so I can do this. I just panic parked. I don't know if I'm where I'm supposed to be, but I think I'm where I'm supposed to be. I also regret parking here, and I also don't know what time we were supposed to meet up. For some reason I thought noon, but it could be not that. It's 70 degrees outside. I guess it's not that weird to be talking to your phone while in your car, given the current climate. So I have that on my side. Ugh, that. Gross. I have that on my side. So there's that. I honestly don't know where or when I'm supposed to be. So I'm just gonna hang out. People can just back out of parking spaces. How the fuck? How the actual fuck? I don't know how I'm gonna get out. I don't really know how I got in the first place. I'm hoping by the time we leave, the baseball game that's happening behind me is done, so that these people leave, so that I can then leave. And I really don't know if I'm where I'm supposed to be. This place is freaking huge. I guess I could wander around, but that'd be weird doing it by myself. Do I give a fuck at this point? I mean, I clearly kind of do. There's a whole lot of empty parking spaces over there. I might try to figure out how to get from not here, because but I've already parked. I've already parked. Just told me where I'm supposed to be. Okay, I'm gonna go figure out what she just said. Okay, I am turning on the car. I'm looking for caterpillars to the left of the main building. I'm gonna back out this way because it's the only way I know how to, and I should probably fix that and learn how to back out another way. I don't know if there's like a circle that I'm supposed to be in. There's no signs that say one way only, so I'm gonna go with this. This person is coming in. I'm sorry, person. I'm gonna go this way. Okay. Main building. I'm assuming it's this giant building right here. To the left of the main building. If I'm looking at it, then I'm assuming that that is left, because this is right. There's a lot of people. I'm gonna go very slowly. Is this a library? This, whatever this is, it's adorable. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. There's so many people. I don't think I want to be here. I think I want to be somewhere where there's less people so that I can park there. Oh, I see the caterpillars. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna park somewhere where there's no people. Ah, there's a whistle. I don't like whistles. Okay, this looks more empty. I'm gonna park this way. I heard a woohoo, and I'm thinking that might be Jess, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I'm gonna park over here. I think I'm crooked. I think I'm very crooked. I'm okay, I'm inside the line, so we're good. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Parking is my least favorite part of driving. But there's no one around, so we're okay. Okay, I'm gonna close the window. We're gonna be good to go. Roll up the windows. Okay, I have my stripper money for Sydney because she is buying lunch today. And by stripper money, I mean all ones, because that is occasionally how I get paid. I'm also going to bring my ear pods and put it in a pocket that does the zip so that I have them on me as like a safety net. I don't need them. I don't need them. I'm hanging out with friends. But are the friends here yet? I don't need them. They can go in here. They can be put away. They get put away. Put away now. This can be unplugged. Go down. There we go. Okay. Breathe in, breathe out. We're okay. Put mask on. Do we wear a mask today? We wear mask today. We always wear mask. Mask is a good thing. I don't know if we're wearing masks in this particular place. If these people believe in masks, but I believe in masks. So here we go. Oh, I don't like public. Everybody being inside was always such a nice thing. So I'm reading Sir Philip Sidney from Astrophil and Stella, which is a series of sonnets that essentially look at love and Sydney's own personal life, supposedly. My thing is, he's Sir Philip Sidney, so I'm assuming he's British. I could probably double check that. It doesn't really have much to do with what I'm about to do, except for the fact that I can only really do a bad British accent. I guess I could do a bad Scottish accent. I can't hold it as well as I can hold a bad British accent, and I'm not quite proficient enough in my bad Irish accent to even attempt. Do you see that hair? Got it. Okay, Sir Philip Sidney from 1554 to 1586. He's dead, clearly. So he was like 30 when he died. Ooh, I did not want to live in the 1500s. Anyway, he was a knight, an Elizabethan knight, which means he's British. Why doesn't it say where he was born? So he started school at the age of 10, but it did not say where he was born. So, he's British, which makes this a little bit less catastrophic, yet it's still going to be catastrophic because I can only do a bad British accent. Regardless, Sidney liked his privacy, so much so that he said, and I quote, "I assure you before God that if I ever know you do so much as read any letter I write to my father without his commandment or my consent, I will thrust my dagger into you and trust to it, for I speak in earnest." Or in American, "I assure you before God that if I ever know you to do so much as read any letter I write to my father without his commandment or my consent, I will thrust my dagger into you and trust to it, for I speak in earnest." Sounds less interesting when it's in American. Anyway, that's my bad British accent, and this is an excellent quote. "I will thrust my dagger into you and trust I am in earnest." Who says that? Sidney, apparently, but that's a top-notch quote, and I'm going to use that. "Do what I say, or I will thrust my dagger into you, and trust me on it." I need to get a dagger first in order for that to really work. Until then, I will be a potato reading sonnets. So anyway, I'm reading good sonnets, and I just wanted to let you know that if you ever do anything against my direct wishes, I will thrust my dagger into you. Trust be upon it. I'm gonna go on with Astrophil and Stella. I really like these old names. I think they're great. Hello. Yes, I'm wearing the same thing that I wore yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. I'm a garbage human, and I don't expect anybody to think any differently. I did a lot yesterday. Whoa. I did a lot yesterday. Today, I will be moving into my brother's room for my today to-do list because my seat is too low and my desk is too high, the length of my torso. So I've been sitting like this. My shoulder and my back really hurt. So I got permission and I'm going to move over there in order, because the desk is better proportioned for my arm, so that I won't be tilted over, so that I can work on getting this, because I already have scoliosis, so I already sit like this, but forcing it even higher is making things just really not great. So I will be moving over there, and so if I talk to you, you'll be not in this mess space, but in a different mess space, because this mess is hereditary, apparently. My brother is messy, my dad is messy, my mom is messy, I never learned how to clean up as a child, and I also can't be bothered to learn how to do it as an adult. So we're gonna go somewhere else. The problem with that somewhere else is I'm bipolar, and when I have manic episodes, which I don't currently think I'm in right now, I think I'm in a sort of middle ground. If I'm super high or super low, I tend to have extreme paranoia and hallucinations. The two don't really go well together. It's never really fun. And one of the reasons why I moved out of that room is because I had convinced myself through paranoia, hallucinations, and my own imagination there was a goat man in the closet over there. So if you've ever seen Campion, I think it's in the first season with the old witch in her old goat costume, that is what I think lives in that closet. Or I thought. I mean, to be honest, I still think that. But I'm gonna go try to study in there and hopefully not let my imagination get the better of me. We shall see. I'm a little bit scared. just a little bit. This is my own doing. I did this to myself. So I gotta just suck it up and just keep going. Let's go. 저는 한국어 가기 위해서 열심히 공부했어요. 하지만 코비드가 발생했어요. 그리고 좀 년 갈 거예요. I studied Korean really hard in order to go to Korea, but COVID happened. I'm gonna try to go next year. I was hoping to go this year. I don't know if any of that came out right. And I don't know if 좀 is next. Let me look that up. 다음 년 네, 갈 거예요. 결국 갈 거예요. Eventually I will go. I will go. Karukoyo. Jinsha karukoyo. That was today's attempt at Korean. Come back the next time I remember to do this for another attempt at Korean. I feel like the more I speak Korean, the better I will get at Korean. Wow, novelty. It's 7:30. I got distracted and discouraged by the snow. I'm not even in the correct room. So I'm going to get my fat ass out of this bed, into that other room, and actually start working. I might bring a blanket with me though, because I don't like the snow and I need some comfort. 한국어 조금밖에 못해요. 한국인 친구는 없어요. I can only speak a little Korean. I don't have any Korean friends, so speaking is the hardest part for me of Korean because I have no one to practice with. So 한국어 조금밖에 못해요. I can only speak a little Korean, and it's choppy at best. It sounds like I don't know what I'm saying, which is accurate. The best part about being in this room is not the closet in which the goat man lives, but rather the view I have of my neighbors. I'm not going to show you them because that's an invasion of privacy, but they've got puppies. And there's nothing bad about puppies. And this is the puppies' first snow, and it's hilarious. They're two fluffy golden retrievers. They're puppies. Charlie's very fluffy, and Daisy May is very sleek. She's a lady. And they're having a fun time. It's great. It really is. It's my favorite part. Also, this is my brother's room. Bunk beds and books and music, and really, I don't see the difference between the two of us. Just had dinner. I'm back. Mom put on The Quiet Man, and now I'm a little upset that I have to come back because I forgot how much I really enjoy that movie. Yet again, I am crying over a book. So like, don't really worry about me. Stone Butch Blues by Leslie Feinberg. You can get it for free as a PDF, or you can buy it, I think, wholesale. You just have to pay for the binding. It is amazing. I just finished chapter 15, and it got me. Got me real good, as you can clearly see. I think this chapter hit harder than all of the other ones because it's really about questioning gender, the need to fit in the binary, the need to not feel different, the need to feel comfortable in your own body, but realizing that sometimes you don't feel comfortable in your body when you're forced to choose on the binary. And I think that's a really important message, and it just kind of hit me because if I had had this book when I was younger, without all of like the rape and the suicide and the violence, but if I had had some kind of story like this earlier, it would have been really, really helpful for me. So it does have a lot of depictions of rape. It does have a lot of depictions of violence. It does have a lot of mentions of suicide, but that sort of comes with being honest about a butch lesbian's experience in Buffalo, New York in the 1960s, the 1970s, and the 1980s. It's a terrible truth, but it is a truth, and that truth deserves to be spoken about, told about. So I don't think it's gratuitous. I don't know if I said that word right because I've only ever read that word. So I'm not all that upset about that, but it is something that if you were wanting to read it, you should be aware about. But man, chapter 15 got me, without spoiling it. Just the way that people look at gender, and the way that the idea of what made a lesbian and what made a woman and what made a man were so rigid that each facet rejected the other or rejected anybody. There are so many gatekeepers that it was difficult to get in to that community, and so a lot of people were left feeling alienated. And if you already don't feel comfortable in your own body and then you're being alienated from outside sources, there's a lot of extremes that people will go to in order to feel accepted, and some of those extremes, while they feel good at first, might not match what the person feels, and so the person ends up feeling even more alienated than when they started out because they still don't fit within their own body, but they fit in with other people, and they realize exactly how much they don't fit, if that makes any sense. Like, if you pass as a certain gender, but you don't feel like you're that gender, you have just as much of a problem, if not more of a problem, than if you don't pass, but you feel more confident in your body. And if you don't pass and you don't feel confident in your body, at least there's that congruence there where it doesn't fit for anybody. And so that's also know, kind of a comfort, I think. So anyway, I'm under control now. I'm not moving on to chapter 16. I only had to read up to chapter 15 for this week, so that's where I'm gonna stay because I can't cry anymore right now. I'm gonna watch Hot Lamode's fashion review of like Say Yes to the Dress or something because I can't do this right now. Not right now. I'm tired. I'm done. I've reached my limit. 안녕하세요. 한국어 공부한 후에 책을 읽을 거예요. After studying Korean today, I'm gonna read a book. The book I'm reading is The Lord of the Flies. And, ooh, I'm almost done. Well, I mean, it goes that way, but yeah, I'm almost done. Look at that. Today, we learned about the, like, daome, hue, duie. So, what I said, like, 3 days ago, where I mixed up chom and daum, I now know my mistake. I also know how to say after. So, that's great. And I'm gonna go back to studying Korean. Because it's not after yet. I'm currently procrastinating. I'm currently procrastinating doing my homework. I have maybe 3 hours of work left, maybe 4, but I'm procrastinating by eating full dairy coffee flavored ice cream, and I need someone to save me from myself. 2 things. 1, I shaved, and it feels weird. 2, I finished my world literature midterm, and I think it went okay. I don't think I got full points, but I do think I got at least an A, and so now all I have to worry about for this next week is my 2 European literature midterms. I feel better after having slept, and the fact that today's sort of to-do list is essentially 2 discussion boards, and that's it, because I finished everything else so that this upcoming week I'd be completely free of a lot of things. I feel better. I talked to Megan yesterday, and I think that also helped because I got to rant, which means I released stress. Complaining is really good for releasing stress, just so long as you understand when to stop complaining. So now all I'm really focusing on is reading on the way down to Joshua Tree, and then the midterms, which, I mean, if they're anything like the midterm that I just took, it's not going to be that difficult. I do think it's going to be more essay-based, and I'm not quite prepared for that. I think I should perhaps do a mind map or take notes just to have something available on hand in one spot, and I could do that on Monday. I have Monday to do work, or I could do that in the car, but I was planning on just reading in the car and then doing the notes later. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and so I should be okay, good to go. I feel better today. I really wasn't feeling it yesterday. I wasn't feeling it at all.
Guys, huh?
Mm-hmm.
They're excellent swimmers. Who would have guessed? Jump 7 feet in the air. I don't think this fence is going to hold them in. Look, they're all coming over here like, do you have food? Do you have any food? Any chance of any food? Sometimes people give us food.
No petting and no feeding.
Peabody Short Line.
Is it cooler? Oh.
No, it's still cool on this side, but it's really cold on this side. I don't think this side is the side. I think it's radiated heat from that other side.
I think the Otisaki might be the best bet. Road to Psyche. Yes, okay. Okay, so I have my 5 works picked out, and now I'm going to go look for sources and then write everything out. I just got the essay back that I submitted for this class. I got 129 out of 150, which is not 100%, but now that my grade is not 100%, I feel better because I had all 100% in all of my classes and it was too much for me to handle. Now I have a 93, which I'm going to try to keep within an A range, but you know, I can deal with a 93. Okay. I'm a little disappointed in myself, but I can deal with it. I finished the first question. It's 669 words, which is a little bit over what's the requirement, but I couldn't make it any smaller while also answering the questions and using 5 sources. So if you wanted the word count to be correct, he would ask for something smaller. The second essay is done. It is on the Gothic. What would you describe as the central feature or quality and the central theme of Gothic literature? Support your thesis by a brief analysis of 2 of the following excerpts from the Gothic section in the Norton Anthology. I chose to do The Romance of the Forest and The Monk. The Romance of the Forest is, I think, by Radcliffe, and The Monk is by Lewis. Question 2 is, although neither The Mortal Immortal nor Confessions of an Opium Eater is technically a Gothic work, for historical and other reasons, for example, that one of them is highly imaginative and a dramatic autobiography, they share some aspects of Gothic literature. Your goal is to respond to the following prompt. Take one of these works described above and address the following question. What aspects of Gothic literature does it share and how are these central to its themes? I chose to focus on The Immortal. Based on your analysis above, how would you respond to the following question? In what ways do The Old Nurse's Story and The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde resemble Gothic literature or draw from it its structures or themes, and in what way do they differ thematically or structurally? So I said one of the main themes of Gothic literature is the presentation of the unknown within the work and the expectation that the reader will use their own imagination to fill in the gaps to create suspense. In Romance of the Forest, essentially the suspense is created because you don't know what's down the stairs. In The Monk, the suspense is created because using magic he has caught the young girl and is attempting to rape her, and through magic the mother of the girl knows what's happening and so stops it. So you expect magic will be used in order for the monk to escape. However, he murders the mother physically by strangulation with a pillow, or I guess it's asphyxiation with a pillow. Either way, he uses a common method of killing instead of magic, which shocks the reader because you were expecting magic. The Immortal is representative of Gothic literature and its use of the unknown and the creation of suspense. By introducing a protagonist who is celebrating their 323rd birthday, the readers immediately know of another story which also has an undying character, the Wandering Jew. However, Shelley says it's not the Wandering Jew. So this understanding of past knowledge and pulling it into the current time creates suspense. By refusing to give straight answers to the questions of the unknown, Shelley forces the readers to exercise their minds and imaginations to make the story more enjoyable and to further the suspense. The Old Nurse's Story and The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde resemble Gothic literature in their presentation of supernatural and the unknown to create suspense within the reader. They are more typically Victorian rather than Gothic in their structure, as they use the Victorian autobiography structure as a presentation of error giving way to truth rather than just as a story meant to frighten without that moral conclusion. The stories reveal the patterns of the internal experience of ordinary life through supernatural means, as commonly seen in Victorian autobiographies, rather than using the supernatural means to exaggerate ordinary life as seen within Gothic literature. On to question number 3. There are two options. Either even more than excitement, commitment, or dispassionate analysis of experience, anxiety is the central response of Victorians to their society, their view of history, and their own self-reflections. Agree or disagree? Or Victorian literature is essentially an extension of Romanticism, building on its insights and extending them to other subjects like social reform, education, industrialism, and imperialism, while incorporating in new ways the developments of Romantic literary form. Agree or disagree? So I'm going to spend my time thinking about that because I don't quite know which one I'm going to go with. Either anxiety or an extension of Romanticism. Romanticism looks at nature. Oh, I just did something on Romanticism up here. So Romanticism looks at nature, so I can work on that, or anxiety. You must choose a minimum of 3 writers. One of the works must be by Tennyson or Browning. So I'm probably going to do an extension of romanticism because I just wrote about romanticism, and so I have that fresh in my mind. And I'm gonna use Tennyson because the only part of week 8 that I read between Tennyson and Browning was The Lady of Shalott, which is focused kind of on, ooh, actually I guess I could do anxiety. I definitely have to focus on The Lady of Shalott because that's the only work that I read. So focusing on The Lady of Shalott, the curse is unknown and is scary and is anxiety inducing. Minimum of 3 writers. So The Lady of Shalott is Tennyson. Oh, I don't remember any of these works. You can choose 2 works by 1 writer and 1 by each. You must choose a minimum of 3 writers. You can choose 2 works by 1 writer and 1 by each by 2 other writers, or choose 1 work each by 4 writers. Okay, so I can do 2 things by 1 person, and then, so I can either have 3 writers or 4 writers, but I must have 4 works. So The Lady of Shalott is definitely going to be used. In Memoriam, what part of In Memoriam did we read? Yoink. So we did 6. Okay. So I'm going to do The Lady of Shalott and In Memoriam 1, and then I need 2 others. I don't think I'm going to use any Browning because I haven't read it and it's very long. Okay, so if I need to write this down. I'm going to do, so this is question 3. I'm doing anxiety, which is option 1. Anxiety in Victorian literature. Okay, so I need 4 works, 3 authors. So my work from, I'm going to do 2 works from Tennyson. Okay, and then also In Memoriam. So the anxiety is the unknown curse, and In Memoriam is the anxiety spurred on by death. Okay, and then I'm going to do Aurora Leigh. And who is that by? Elizabeth Barrett Browning, which I'm going to count. And this is the anxiety of not being able to do what one wants in their life due to their gender/social class. Okay, and then I need 1 more work and 1 more author. Who else am I choosing from? Mother and Poet, which I don't recognize that at all. Oh, which was not a required reading. How long is it? Ooh, yes. Oh, wait, but it's by the same person. Never mind, I can't do it. Otherwise, it would be great. Mill's autobiography. That's ridden with anxiety. Here it is. A Crisis in My Mental Health History, 1 stage onward. If that doesn't scream anxiety, I don't know what does. So we're gonna do it. So it is Mill autobiography, and it is The Anxiety of Melancholy. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna start writing, and I'm gonna turn you off so I can focus. Hello, my name is Kat, and I was today years old when I realized that the Harry Potter soundtracks for the movies are my hype songs, specifically when I sing them to myself. I realized this while watching my vlogs. As I was editing this past vacation sort of vloggy thing, the amount of times I go da 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 to hype myself up is ridiculous. I finished an essay that I've been working on for like 4 days now, and I'm very excited about that, so thank you, brain, for finally working. Also, if it looks like I'm wearing pajamas, that's because I am. I got cold. I wanted to wear my Christmas pajamas, so I'm wearing my Christmas pajamas, and they're Christmas pajamas because I got them on a Christmas holiday sale from somewhere. It says Totally Pink, but I don't know what that store is, so it probably got it from a magazine or something. I'm gonna go take a walk.
You could smell the gas.
Your ceilings are so
I
high.
know. And then it gets really cold in here because the floors are cement.
Yeah.
And